once again, Arielle Live TV every Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And today the guest is no other than Jack Love for Congress, and of course his lovely wife. She's more talkative than the husband. Okay, let's go back to our conversation.
Sure.
Tell me about that conversation we had, the job.
Okay, so I just don't hear a lot of conversation about the future of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every day I'm seeing major retail outlets that are going out of business, and you know, a lot of it's due to consolidation. You know, Amazon is making them obsolete. You know, then you've got the situation where healthcare is becoming unaffordable for many, and health insurance is being taken away in one way or another by the Republicans. I'm seeing a situation where we're gonna lose these retail jobs. We already are.
Mm-hmm.
Once we lose these big box retailers, we're gonna lose a lot of commercial real estate. You know, if you don't need a big department store, that you know, who's going to take over that space? What retail outlet's going to take over that space?
Everybody are doing online now.
Exactly.
Like our television network.
Exactly.
World Central Broadcast Media.
Yeah.
It's reach out all social media.
Yeah.
And no one will watch at home anymore. They can watch it wherever they are. In fact, right now they're watching us all over the world.
Right. Exactly. You can't defeat technology, but we have to face it head on. And that's what I'm saying. We're going to continue to lose these retail jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we're going to eventually lose jobs in the real estate market, because you got all this real estate that the retail stores are no longer going to need. I believe we're going to eventually bleed jobs from the healthcare industry if we continue down the path of removing people's health insurance and making it unaffordable for folks. So what are we going to do to replace all these jobs? In my opinion, the only solution is to invest in America, invest in our people, spend money on big infrastructure jobs. I mean, you know,
like what? Give me one.
Like high-speed rail between Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
I think they've been talking about that for many years.
Yeah, that's all we do in this country is talk. You know, we don't do anything anymore. When's the last time we actually built something big? Hoover Dam, Golden Gate Bridge, Empire State Building. I mean, it's like we can't summon up the courage to actually tackle something that's a large issue.
I think that one is in the making now. The bullet train from Los Angeles to here, because of the Raiders. If they're putting the Raiders, they're gonna have more traffic on the 15.
Well, there's no plans for that right now. I mean, people have talked about it, but there's nothing started on that. I mean, the Raiders, they can't even get. We don't even have adequate parking. You know, so you know, they need to solve that issue before they can solve the high-speed rail.
So, well, do you think so? They went to the wrong place?
No, I love it that they're here, and I think
No, what I mean, the location that they have. The location that they have. I think that's a perfect location.
Yeah, no, the location's fine. I mean, yeah, they do have to figure out something on parking, but I'm sure they will.
Let's go back to your Clean Dream Act. What is that? Tell me why. Why did you say Clean Dream Act?
Well, you know, when President Obama was in office, he made a deal with what they call the Dreamers. Those are children that were brought here illegally, you know, when they were very young, through no fault of their own. So they're undocumented. They've grown up here. This is the only country they've known, and so President Obama made a deal with them for them to, you know, they applied and have been part of the system, and now Trump came in and reneged on the deal, and now he killed the DACA plan. So these people are subject to deportation now, and I think it's disgusting. I think it's immoral, number one, to try to send somebody who this is the only country they've ever known and is living a good life, is not a criminal, is contributing to society. To me, it's immoral to try to send them away to a country. They may not even speak the language. They may not even know anybody there, and yet that's what the Republican administration, that's their policy. They want those people to be deported. And it's just, we went back on our word. You know, we made a promise to these kids, and that's disgusting. If our government can't keep its word, then you know, how can we, you know, how can we as a society progress?
I think he's working on it. Isn't he? He made the deal also that, hey, help me out with this other problem, and I will keep my promise to the Dream Act.
Well, that's up for debate. I mean, to me, he's not serious about trying to solve the issue. I mean, to me, it's not serious when he makes a proposal that, yeah, sure, we'll fix the DACA Act and give them, you know, tell them they can wait like 15 years to actually become legal, and in the meantime, the only way I'm going to agree to it is if you give me $30 billion to build a wall on the border, which he knows no Democrat in his right mind is going to vote for. That's not a serious negotiation. That's public posturing to me.
So that's what you're thinking. All right. So you think that he's not doing a good job. Let's talk about the civil rights and equality.
Well, you know, since the new administration has come on board, you know, they have told LGBT folks that they're not welcome in the military any longer. You know, they do not support gay marriage. I mean, how many times have they gone out and spoken against Muslims or Mexicans or any other ethnic group that doesn't happen to be white? It's just, I never thought in my lifetime that we would go backwards on race and equality issues, but we clearly are.
So what do you think, guys, the viewers out there? You guys ready to vote Jack Love? Jack Love, I think from listening to you, your reason, I wish you luck with that. Who are your opponents, by the way?
Well, in the Democratic primary, there's 7 folks on the ballot. You know, Susie Lee, Michael Weiss, Richard Hart, Steve Schiffman, Eric Stoltz, and Guy Pinyuv. I think that's everybody.
And the only thing qualified is Jack Love.
Well,
don't forget the name Jack Love. Come on, Jack. Forget about all those names. It's you. It's you.
Well, I am the one that knows healthcare, and that's the primary reason I decided to run, because I think I know it more than the people that are in Washington that are messing things up.
So how about you? What do you think? You've been around in the community. What is the feedback in the community for Jack?
Everyone loves Jack. Jack was born and raised here. This is his town. So this is personal. Anyone that compares Jack to any other candidate, it's a slam dunk. It's Jack. I mean, he already told you he's a family man, and I will vouch for that. He's the kind of dad that gets up at 5 a.m. in the morning every day by choice. Not that he has to. He chooses to because he wants to pack our daughters' lunches, and then he likes to drive each daughter to school. Now, of course, they don't all go to the same school at the same time, so he does back and forth because he wants to, because that's the kind of father he is, because he wants to spend time with his daughters.
And the mommy is under the blanket. Right?
I get to sleep. I know. I'm not really painting a good picture about myself right now, but
that's not true. She gets them ready and does their hair while I'm transporting.
Lying, right?
It's definitely a team effort right here. Team effort.
I thought you're gonna be sleeping all day until you get back.
Well, I do sleep in a little bit more than he does. He's always the first one up.
But anyway, that's don't forget to vote for Jack Love. It doesn't matter what your, however you call it, your ticket, if it's the Democrat or the Republican.
Well, you do have to be a registered Democrat to
vote for the Democrat.
For Jack in the primary. But in addition to, being a good family man, I mean, he's a businessman as well. He brings many years of experience to the table with that, so that's very admirable.
Well, agent of Farmers Insurance, but they're expensive, okay? But anyway, in our last segment, we can do the shout out, so I want you to address you first, so invite everybody, and wherever is your meet and greet again, so that will be nice. So we captured most of it. I know we didn't the clean air and clean water. I know we have bad water here, and it costs us a lot of money on the bottled water, right? What do you mean clean water?
Well,
how are we gonna do it? In
actuality, our water here is actually pretty good. I'm one of those dorks that actually reads the report that the water district sends out every quarter, and our water quality here is as good as bottled water. But there's what I'm saying on my little pamphlet is that our environment is under attack. We've got an EPA administrator whose goal in life is really not to make the EPA an effective protector of the environment, but really to destroy the agency and make it possible for big business to do whatever they want to make as much profit they want, and while polluting and doing whatever they want. So I mean, our water's clean here, but in Nevada, water's a big issue, and we're in the midst of a long-term drought that's been going on approximately 18 years. and you know, scientists believe that it's only going to get worse. You know, and that has to do with climate change, melting, the melting Arctic. It's very complicated, but just ignoring it is not going to work.
Well, once again, Jack Love, my God, we can have 3 hours just by talking who is Jack Love. He has a lot of good platform in our country. But anyway, we'll be right back on the fourth segment. Thank you.